So before we start, this video is just here to read some posts. This is only about a certain Tumblr. Do not harass that Tumblr or anyone else due to this video. We are just here to laugh, read some funny posts. That's it. We are a no bully channel. We are good girls, good boys, good everybody. We're just gonna read some stuff, have a laugh, no bullying, just laughing. Also, watch Kaiji.
The destruction of this scale is dedicated to all of the women whose lives have been ruined and ruled by it. This is for us, ladies. Safety first. Oops.
Hello guys, ooh, what's this? Thin privilege. Year, whenever Obama was president. A simpler time, where YouTubers such as Andy Worski and Thunderfoot got a massive following by shitting on crazy feminists. A time where everyone hated on Anita Sarkeesian. A year where owning late SJWs, or the longer form, lay social justice warriors, wasn't just a boring norm on YouTube. We going back to the Gamergate anti-SJW era to explore a human rights issue. Rights for people of color began to be a massive movement in the 1950s. I googled women's suffrage movement, didn't get an exact date for when that started because fuck it, you know, women, we just humor them while we fuck, where's my script? We just humor them while they get back to the kitchen. Jokes here. We make jokes. I dropped my thing. Before we get into this, these are fake glasses. This is a trash hat, and I like to look like trash. If you're new to my channel, you won't know that I like to look as stupid as possible for all my videos. Fucking interesting, Cecily. You're so fucking interesting. I know, right? Thanks. Okay. Cut back to the Obama age. We have to fight for rights, not rights of those who are black, gay, or female. You know, things you have no control over. We fight for the right to be fat. These overweight individuals are fighting for the right to have excess adipose tissue, and how can I explain them but bold, strong, things I can read on the back of a cheap bottle of cologne. So yes, we're going to a time I used to be heavily involved in. A time I was a regular on Reddit, on places like r/Tumblr in action and r/Kotaku in action, and more importantly, r/FatLogic. So we're just gonna do a quick video on thin privilege. Apparently it's popular right now because there's a shitty BBC video on it, and so all the anti-SJWs are like making videos on that. But let's get into it. Before I start, I don't actually hate fat people. I've made jokes about it, but I don't actually. I am a big fan of anime and I go to anime conventions. If I did not like fat people, I would be hard pressed to have friends. I'm really just simply here to share this really fucking insane Tumblr. And I'm not here at all for actual fat shaming. In fact, this article here titled, "Fat Shaming Doesn't Motivate Obese People to Lose Weight" is the reason why I don't agree with fat shaming. The article reads, "Discrimination against overweight or obese people, commonly known as fat shaming, does not help them lose weight. It may do more harm than good, according to research from London. Being harassed or treated with disrespect, receiving poor service while shopping, or thought of as stupid may actually lead to more weight gain," the researchers found. "Our study clearly shows that weight discrimination is part of the obesity problem and not the solution," said the study's senior author, Jane Wardell, or however you say it. Director of Cancer Research, UK Health Behaviour Centre of University College, London. So yeah, I'm not here for that. But just because I'm not here for that doesn't mean I don't think these particular individuals are sane, the people who run this Tumblr. And I don't think these people are helping anyone. In fact, their constant pseudoscience and crab mentality. And if you don't know what crab mentality is, it is, think of like crabs in a bucket and one tries to escape and the other crabs pull them down to make sure they do not escape. And I think these people are harming insecure girls that cling to this movement in desperation to maybe feel a little better about themselves. But you know what? We're not here to get real serious about the issue. We're here to laugh. What a great way to come back with just some standard poning SJWs video. And I'm sorry, but way back when I was a regular on Reddit, When I was in college, I used to love the subreddit r/fatlogic, and there was a bit of a war between that Reddit and in particular Tumblr, and that Tumblr is titled "This is Thin Privilege," or how I like to call them, TITP. I was quite pleasantly surprised seeing that this Tumblr was still alive and kicking in 2019, post-Tumblr anti-lewds, porn, whatever you want to call it, and the mass exodus of lewd Tumblrites to Twitter. Also, I kind of got over being an anti-SJW like 3 years ago, and the fat acceptance movement had to be the funniest one when I was in that time of my life. It was really funny to watch. And you know what? Here's a montage of the stupidest shit I've witnessed.
To me, it's almost like reverting back to the civil rights movement. Now we're telling fat folks that they have to buy an extra seat. Not too long ago, my grandparents had to sit on the back of a bus. It's almost like segregating folks based on the way they look.
Did you really say that?
A cake-related fatphobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large, and that the person who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior.
Julius, you're a fitness trainer. What do you think of Jenny and Dorothy being happy with their bodies?
I think that's fantastic. Are you healthy? Have you been to the doctors and they've told you that you're healthy?
Well, I think that's quite a loaded question, because I don't think anyone here who's thin is going to be asked that. So I guess that's what I would say to that answer, that we have to look as well at the assumptions that are made. And I would say you can't actually tell someone's lifestyle or health by looking at them. I do think that there's such a health focus in our country that I call it healthism, a kind of moral obligation for people to be healthy. And I think that we have to watch that too.
But isn't that because it costs taxpayers a lot of money?
Practice just taking the cake slice you're given, or simply saying no thanks.
I have two comments to make. First, I want to direct this to Miss Skinny Minnie.
Which Miss Skinny Minnie?
Isn't her name Mimi or Skinny
Minnie? Yeah, okay,
Mimi?
Mimi.
Well, the skinniest girl up there.
Okay, but let me ask you a question while you're standing up. Why is it okay for you to call her Skinny Minnie?
That is why being fat and standing up and saying, "I don't hate myself," is a revolutionary act. Being fat and wearing bright colors and tight clothes and horizontal stripes is a revolutionary act.
I mean, you can't take this shit seriously, can you? But it's still happening today. It's still happening, and I don't understand how. There are more important things to laugh at. So also, the individuals who run this blog think that Reddit is evil. Like, they think it's evil. This post here, titled "Reddit" from This is Thin Privilege, reads, "Thin privilege is no more evident than it is on Reddit in the sheer amount of fat-shaming, body policing, and healthism revealed by its commentariat." I'm not gonna read their whole post, but like, let's just scroll through Reddit right now. What? Oh my god. Oh, I might as well just be on fucking Encyclopedia Dramatica and Kiwi Farms. This is offensive. What is this? What is this? Not okay. I mean, the Reddit for fat logic is indeed cruel itself. It's a evil, cruel place. Just let's read the rules of it. r/fatlogic rules. 1. No personal attacks. No hate speech, no racism. Ooh, that's triggering. 2. No personal information about yourself or others. 3. No linking to other subreddits. 4. All images must be hosted by Imgur or Reddit upload. 5. Do not link or name source material. 6. No politics. 7. No dehumanizing language. 8. Moderators have complete discretion. 9. No promotion of eating disorders. 10. Read the Fat Logic wiki for the complete description of the rules. But let's get into that Tumblr. So let's go into this like we're a blank slate. What is thin privilege? Like, what does it entail? Looks like they have a frequently asked questions section for us to read. So here's a post from them that reads, "What is thin privilege?" Okay, so we're gonna learn about this. If you don't know what the social justice concept of privilege means more generally, then please read this first. I'm not gonna click that. I don't care. Thin privilege systematically reduces each of us to our dress size, hip measurements, and waist size, then grants favors, opportunities, or simple lack of punishment when the numbers are low enough. And you know what? That sure seems logical. What if I really worked hard to gain my privilege of thin privilege? I mean, I myself go to the gym 7 times a week, ranging from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Do they have a response about earning one's privilege? Now, I found this post from a different Tumblr, but I do think it kind of goes into how these people who have this mindset think. Messed up stuff thin people say. I earned my thin privilege by working out, eating healthy, and taking care of my body. Answer. Listen, asshat. The point of privilege is that it is never earned. That's the rule. Class privilege, white privilege, whatever privilege. It's never earned. I don't care how many hours you spend at the gym, how many carrots you eat, or how much cake you turn down. Just like other privileges, it is never, ever, ever earned.
Fuck you!
And now I don't know what possibly could have been injected into this individual to have such a mental disconnect. Perhaps eating such an unhealthy amount of salt messes with one's cognitive abilities. Who knows? But many of these girls, I think they're girls.
Excuse me? Did you
just assume
my gender?
Seem extremely angry over self-perceived injustices. So let's read the little description of this Tumblr. Oh look, we have a description right here. This blog showcases examples of thin privilege in order to illustrate fat phobia and fat discrimination. For our updates on Facebook and Twitter, the first one is Art to Life. Now, Art to Life doesn't really have a description on their own Tumblr page, but I looked at some posts by them to the This Is Thin Privilege Tumblr, and oh boy! Here's one. Someone asks, I'm 70 pounds and I feel ugly because I'm skinny. Is being skinny bad? And Art to Life responds, are you fucking retarded? Please leave this earth and die of your anorexia, you useless piece of shit. Go die. Are you really that much of an ignorant twat? Have you ever read our blog? Clearly, you haven't. We've gone over this hundreds of times. Oh boy! I, for one, love a movement that tells people who have mental disorders to kill themselves. It's such a fantastic movement. Both brave and strong Art to Life. Next, we have a user called Fat Body Politics. And with a name like that, let's see if maybe we'll get a bit more sanity on their page. And look, they actually have a description on their page. Their page reads, sociologist, PhD candidate, writer, activist, unapologetic, fat lady. I'm a blogger at Fat Body Politics, full-time graduate student, part-time social media and online community builder. I am also a moderator at This Is Thin Privilege and Redefining Body Image. Follow on Facebook, and then they give like a link to donate because they're doing this for free. That's not too bad. And I couldn't actually find that many like terrible posts like we saw with Art to Life from Fat Body Politics. I did find a rather unique perspective on being fat from them, and let's read that. I don't care who identifies as fat, but if you are a small fat, however you define it, by BMI or clothing size, you cannot assume your experience is universal. I'm 5'5", weigh 250 pounds, with a BMI of 42, and wear a size 16/18, sometimes 20. I consider myself a small fat in comparison to other fat people. I'm kind of at a shock here. I'm kind of at a shock here. I'm just going to read a study for this. According to BMI, which isn't always the best gauge of health, but I trust it over Art to Life, this person is considered a obese class 3, aka very severely obese, and that is small fat to her. That is small fat. If anything, obesity is being normalized today in American society, and according to a study by the University of East Anglia, new research warns that the normalization of plus-size body shapes may be leading to an increase in number of people underestimating their weight, undermining efforts to tackle England's ever-growing obesity problem. Analysis of data from almost 23,460 people who are overweight or obese revealed that weight misperception has increased in England. Men and individuals with lower levels of education and income are more likely to underestimate their weight status and consequently less likely to try to lose weight. So yeah, that is a study about England, but I do think we are perceiving being overweight or obese as more normal. Next, we have Mad Gastronomer, and let's look at their page. If you ever want to do like a social justice warrior on Tumblr bingo, you can do this on her description on her own Tumblr. So let's read that. Yes, I am that Mad Gastronomer. Whichever one you're thinking of, that's me. The one and only. Feel free to say hi. Queer, cis, white, mentally ill, pagan, fat woman. Then she links her Hellenic religion blog and other shit. But yeah, I just got bingo. But I especially remember Mad Gastronomer for being the craziest of the mods. And we will see some of her posts as we go along. Now that I've read through all the basics of this Tumblr, sit down, my special needs children. We're gonna read some examples of the posts. If you think this blog is a troll, it is not. They have been running this for a long time. They will post things, they get angry, and it's legit. It's not a troll. I wish it was. But I could put all these posts into certain categories. Category 1, I titled, That Happened / Just Fucking Ridiculous. Category 2, Obvious Troll Post. Category 3, A Baiting Post. And Category 4, Whining About Healthcare. So we're in the That Happened category. The first post in That Happened is titled, Thin Privilege is having dogs play with you. Dogs are fat shaming now. Okay. Thin privilege is not being discriminated against and assumed incapable of physical activity by both dog and owner. Oh, this fat shaming dogs. Here's another That Happened. This one reads, Trigger warning, abuse, bullying. Thin privilege is not having spaghetti Thin privilege is not having spaghetti meatballs stolen from you and then forced down in your pockets. I was minding my own business and eating, oh my god, a fat person who eats, when 3 boys came up to me and start calling me all sorts of horrible names. Fatty, Miss Pigface, and the list goes on. I tried to ignore them, and it worked until they saw that their bullying didn't have an effect on me. While the other 2 forced me up from my chair, I even yelled for help, but no one seemed to care that I was being attacked. The 2 of them stood and pushed me back and forth, while the 3rd one laughed at me. At this point, the 3rd one still held my spaghetti, forced it down my pockets. I tried my hardest to keep calm, but I couldn't hold the tears back anymore. After this, they pushed me to the ground while laughing and walked away. Since that day, I have been scared of eating in public, and even more scared of meeting my attackers again. I think I have been hit by a depression. Oh my god, I'm sorry, it's not good, I'm laughing. Since the attack, and it has been very hard for me to talk about my story. So, I don't think that happened. Oh, here's another classic. Asshole doctor at a restaurant. Honestly, I still can't believe this actually happened. I was at a cheesecake factory and I was enjoying my time out with my friends after we had gone to a movie. Me and my friends are all very comfortable with our bodies, and we are all big ladies. We like to call ourselves the large and in charge gang, and we all practice health at every size. There were 6 of us and we ordered 4 appetizers because we wanted to try different things and share. As soon as our appetizers arrived, my doctor was seated with his bitch wife right across from us. My doctor is extremely fat phobic and always harps on my weight, and before any other issues I may be having, like how I hurt my knees playing with my nephew, I put my head down and try not to make eye contact. Just then I hear, Sarah, what is this? As he gestures to our awesome blossom plate of nachos, pizza, and chicken fingers. I was stunned and didn't know what to say. But there are 6 of us, doctor, and I paused to gain my composure. I politely reminded my doctor that I practice health at every size, that I listened to my body and gave it what it's needed during the day, and felt I deserved a reward with my friends. My doctor looked befuddled and didn't know what to say. I calmly told him that I'm happy with how I look, and that I am in love with my body, and that my knees still hurt because the asshole refused to treat me. This asshole only gave me a shit-eating grin and smugly said, well, with all the rewards, you're never gonna look like my wife. And then our entrees arrived, and the waitress overheard the comment and started laughing at us. I was so humiliated, I started to cry and could barely enjoy my food. Barely. She could barely enjoy it, but she did it. She managed. When my cheesecake came, my doctor had already paid and was leaving, and he saw my cheesecake and said, "Are you kidding?" and just walked away. I was horrified. I was so brave and courageous to sit still with my friends and try to enjoy my meal, but this pushed me over the edge. I ran out of the restaurant and got in my car. I was hysterical. I was crying for so long, but I was happy that my friends were able to still enjoy their cheesecake still despite that asshole. I didn't want him to ruin their night too. Just then, I heard a knock at my window. My heart almost stopped. I was sure it was that asshole ready to make another awful, hurtful comment to me. I rolled down the window, but it was a very attractive waiter from the restaurant. "Did you want to hurt my feelings too?" he said. "I saw what that asshole said to you. Don't let anyone make you feel less beautiful. Looks like you forgot something," and handed me my cheesecake in a to-go box with his strong, powerful hands and forearm. I felt so happy. When I opened the cheesecake to have some, he had drawn a happy face and chocolate sauce on it, and I didn't even order chocolate sauce. Just then, I felt so happy, and I knew that the asshole doctor was wrong. I'm gonna report him to the medical board and get him fired. That's right, doctor. That's right. You worry about your patient's health, and they're gonna get you fired. And also, I like how she's never felt happier because she got some cheesecake. Our next category is troll posts. Those ones possibly were trolls too, but these ones are very funny. This one is titled Going to the Gym. This isn't exactly TITP, so mods feel free to delete, but it does speak to the healthism and BFHT, I don't know what that means. I like to engage in joyful movement, and for me that happens to be the gym. But I guess this is thin privilege when you don't have to tell your family that you aren't going to the gym to lose weight. And then they quote, "Going to the gym is a waste of time if you're doing it to lose weight," said University of California physiologist Dr. Andrew Novak, adding that time working out would be better spent reading, spending time with your family, sleeping, watching television, or eating. And I'm not going to read the rest of it because this is a quote from an Onion article. Thin privilege is cosplay and Lolita. I love to cosplay, and my best and most recent cosplay was Tifa from Final Fantasy. I also love to dress in Lolita. I've been posting my picture in a photo bucket account and on Facebook or Twitter. I recently had to delete my Facebook and Twitter because there is a 4chan ripoff site devoted to mocking me and my photos and my personal life. I love to take sexy shots because I have a nice curvy body, and every time I take one, they mock it. I will never stop taking photos, but it still hurts to know that there are people who mock me. Sad face. I will never stop shining though. I've only just begun to shine. Does anyone know? Did anyone know what that one's about? That's Pixie Terry. They're making fun of Pixie Terry.
I am just beginning to shine.
This one is titled Thin Privilege is People Believing People's Bodies Are Diverse. I'm a black male, POS, person of size, originally from Atlanta. When I was growing up, I was already very heavy, even though I played sports and ate pretty typically for a growing boy. I worked at a small supermarket near my house, and my friend, Kel, used to visit me most days. He was tall and skinny, but never really understood the privilege that afforded him because it was easier for people to ignore back then. A lot of days when we were at the store, Kel would go through 3 or 4 2-liter bottles of orange soda, his favorite. This is Keenan and Kel.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
And there are other posts, there were ones that are like Game of Thrones. I think I saw one where it was like Marlon Brando needing to lose weight for Apocalypse Now. So next we have what I like to call baiting posts. I only have one example here because, again, we are already here way too long. So someone asks, if a person's weight is making them feel uncomfortable in terms of not being able to perform basic functions like getting up a staircase, not being able to walk short distances, getting out of bed or a chair, would TITP agree that weight loss if the person was not trying to be skinny but rather just healthy fat? They respond, why do trolls find the need to invent all these hypothetical scenarios? Are you so afraid of people taking up more space than you want them to that you have to play armchair doctor for a bunch of invisible straw fatties you never met? Yeah, because that never happens. There are no fat people who have trouble moving.
You gropey out of breath.
And our final type of posts are them bitching about healthcare. This post is titled, if doctors spent as much time that they are claiming fat bodies are bad, working on finding better ways to perform medicine on fat bodies, perhaps surgical complications wouldn't happen so often for fat people. That instead of surgeons complaining about how hard performing operations on fat people are, they found ways besides making fat people thinner to make those operations easier. I'll never get past surgeons actually whining and moaning fat people are too difficult to perform surgery on.
You're not doing yourself any favors coming into surgery fat. everything is difficult to move and it bleeds and...
Oh, those fucking lazy surgeons. Not like it costs extra money or medical equipment is difficult. Nope. They just like to whine. No wonder these doctors are like assholes to these people. Like, allegedly. But, I mean, if I had to deal with someone who comes into my office, tells me how to do my job, you bet I'm gonna not wanna do shit with them. And that's pretty much the review of the Tumblr there. Hopefully you can see why I found it so funny back in the day. They are still there, and today, majority of the posts are just them whining about healthcare. The trolls are not really around anymore. Mad Gastronomer continues their ridiculous screeching at anyone who dares question their authority. Seeing how rude and shrill these moderators are really makes me wonder. They seem to claim that they are indeed happy with being fat, but do any of these posts come off as happy with their situation? Does moderating a blog for over 5 years about why you can't improve yourself seem normal or rational? I don't know, I'm just some person on the internet who likes to look at stuff. And if you like this content and you're not subscribed, I'm Cecil, and I pretty much just go around and read and take notes on weird shit I find online. And that was Thin Privilege. I'm gonna go earn mine at the gym now.